Good afternoon on the eve of October 17th and the legalization of cannabis. The first G7 country to legalize cannabis for adult use / recreational purposes. I just wanted to celebrate our final 420 in Vancouver. Anyways, it's 420 in Vancouver. With a little break from work. It's going to be a busy next few days here, folks. Thank you. But yeah, it's going to be busy. Taking a little breather. And celebrating, the final day of prohibition. This is technically, I guess, illegal, despite being a patient, despite having all of this. I'm celebrating my final 420 under prohibition in Canada with Top Leaf. I'm sure that comes as no surprise to most of you. This is a wicked strain called Rainbow Rider. And I'm a really big fan. Nice effects, as always. The terpene profiles are fucking phenomenal. That's what I love about Top Leaf, is that they've got the terps under wraps. Never cease to impress. So thanks again, guys. It's been a great, not long enough of a haul, but it's been a great haul with you guys. So howdy Ella, howdy Dylan, howdy Nate Dog. Is it 420 where you're at? Possibly closer to 720, 620, 520, depending on where you're at. Everybody in Canada is an hour at least ahead, closer to legalization. So technically in Toronto they're 3 hours ahead. So at 9 o'clock my time it will be legal somewhere in Canada. And what do we got here? Sorry, we got some sun coming in. Let me shift her forward. And then we also have folks in Newfoundland, I guess, that are probably half an hour even before that. So, fucking A, guys. Way to go. Well, you'll be the first. It's like New Year's, but it should be bigger. It's not really. It doesn't seem. But tomorrow we're going to wake up. Miss Magic, how are you? Celebrating our final 420 before Prohibition is lifted, whatever that means. But Prohibition 2.0 for some of us. Some of us are welcoming the legal framework simply because it gives us access. I'm looking forward to hearing your feedback on the quality of that access. Still illegal here. Where's here, Ella? Where's here? Mexico. Sorry, I just saw that. Bienvenido. Still illegal in Mexico, but it's going to be toppling there pretty quick. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys already have some medicinal legislation. I can't keep up with everywhere that's kind of toppling from a medicinal and CBD standpoint, hemp-derived CBD, whether it's cannabis-derived. I can't keep up, but Mexico is on its way for sure. I think you guys have a lot of ins and outs and know-how about the drug trade that even something like Canada doesn't have. So you could definitely benefit from this from a black market perspective, from a drug trade perspective down there. Yeah. Anyways, welcome to the chat here. Who do we got? I don't even want to know if I have to. Okay, hold on. Nargis Diarani. I probably didn't pronounce that properly, but prohibition cannabis. You think quality will suffer under legalization? It already has, man. It already has. But there's a lot of LPs out there that are committed to changing, and there's a lot of LPs that have admitted to the fact that they know their cannabis isn't where it needs to be. The issue being, when I've talked about it before, the scalability of all of this to go from a very small, tight, enclosed grow environment to 1 million square feet isn't exactly easy. Some of them have done it a lot better than others. Some of them are still in the process, in the first or second harvest or whatnot. As the harvests continue, the outcomes should be getting better. There's some stuff that we need to fight for as a group, or at least identify the ones that are growing organic, that may not be irradiating, that may have a better cure process. If you go online to all of these LPs, they're all claiming, superiority over the other ones. Some truly do boast superiority. And as I said, I'm going to kind of go into that a little bit more, I think, tonight if I get the chance. But yeah, the superiority that is out there, it's hit and miss. Some have great strains as well as horrible strains. Others just strictly have pretty much high quality, good strains regardless. Some of them are the big names that you don't want to hear. Unfortunately, some of the smaller ones, the more crafty feel to them, aren't what they were or had shaped up to be, or what I'd anticipated them to be. But again, I had a lot of first run cannabis from these folks, so it may have been sitting on the shelf. It may have been just not their best. I'm assuming each consecutive harvest is going to yield better results. So as time goes on, things are going to improve. But we're already suffering. I've been a patient now for 3 years of the federal system, and I've tried, I think now, a dozen LPs. Some great brands out there, and some mostly horrible. Well, horrible is the wrong word. The average cannabis in the LP system is not up to snuff if you've been a user for the past, well, since wherever you've been getting your cannabis. Chances are it's probably smells all that better than what you're likely going to get in the stores. Here's a little tip for you guys. Broken Coast, if you see that in the stores, buy it. If you see Whistler Medical, which I don't know Whistler is going to be selling if it's Whistler Medical, but if it is available recreationally, pick up some of those or some of their strains. Aurora, they have some great strains. They don't irradiate. They have terpenes. You know what? That's pretty fucking phenomenal. So a lot of their strains are pretty good. I've heard a lot of good things about the Tangelope. Go online, go to Reddit. There's a Canadian Cannabis LP thread there that is going to give you a lot of background and information on the cannabis that is available out there. I've provided my 2 cents. I've been kicked off a couple of threads, not for being an asshole, but just for talking about the gray market as much as I did. Gray market, black market is still going to be an option for everybody, but yeah, sorry man, you tripped a wire there. I hope you got all that you were looking for, but yeah, it is it's suffering. It's going to suffer under legalization. What do we got? Oi. Oi, Victoria, how are you? It's going to take time for sure. You bet it is. Prohibition cannabis, it's going to take time. I think we need to be a little bit patient, and this isn't some kind of, Trump thing where it's like, just give them a chance, just give them a chance. I think, people actually legitimately are trying to do a better job, a lot of them. And we're going to sniff out the ones that aren't, really. I mean, anybody that's sitting there telling us time and time again that, oh yeah, we got the best stuff, and it's not the best stuff, well, I mean, we're going to, be a little bit jaded by that. Nobody likes being marketed to in that regard. I want somebody to connect with me. I want somebody that understands my culture. I want somebody that understands where I'm coming from. I want somebody that understands we need to support every type of consumption. I'm a flower guy. I still am a flower guy. I like to dab. I enjoy that. I like to vape as well, but when it comes down to it, the whole experience for me starts and ends with flower. I want people that are open to that type of consumption, that are open to promoting safer or alternative types of consumption. I'm open to people that are looking for evidence, that aren't looking to stigmatize at all, that aren't looking to find scapegoats or things to pick on within the cannabis community in order to set themselves apart. There's no space for that, and I think what's going to happen is a lot of people are going to trip wires that aren't cannabis consumers, haven't been cannabis consumers up until now, and now that everything is actually hitting the fan, if you have a group of people that are in sales, marketing, product development that don't have a relationship with cannabis, that's going to show, and yeah, we're going to quickly sift out the good ones over the bad ones. Yeah, Mexico CBD is legal. Medicinal research is legal. Yeah, they'll extort you over a banana down there. I've had some pretty weird ass. Well, I guess that wasn't Mexico, but well, no, there were some issues in Mexico. I had my biggest issue actually was in Guatemala, which is one of my favorite countries in the world still. Guatemala City, I think it's not necessarily the best place for the average tourist. I don't know what it's like to exist there, to live there, or whatnot, but Guatemala is such a fucking awesome country. Mexico as well. I've spent some time down there. I'm a professional, or was a professional scuba diver at one point in my life, and I had spent some time down in Cozumel, a lot of time on the Pacific coast, over close to Manzanillo. So yeah, Mexico. Really love that joint. Uh-oh. What's going on here? Oh, for crying out loud. I can't seem to check my comments here. Oh, here we go. Yeah, Broken Coast Prohibition Cannabis is pretty much a game changer. They are the standard. They are the standard that everybody in that LP framework should be trying to be like, at least at this point. So, totally. Broken Coast, I don't like recommending that because if I do need it and I need to go to the store, which I don't think I'm going to, but if I do, you guys are going to have grabbed it by now. So, kind of keep that under wraps. Don't tell any assholes that they should be buying Broken Coast, because I don't want assholes smoking good weed. Or at least them. I want them smoking good weed. I don't want them smoking good weed and us not. is kind of what I'm saying. There's a hierarchy here. Everyone get their medical if you don't already, and don't let it expire. Tons of benefits. Yeah, absolutely. I'm keeping that one going, even though I heard today that the amounts themselves don't really matter anymore, that you can buy as much as you want, I think, as a patient, or at least, yeah, I'm not exactly sure, but your limit doesn't really apply. I had, shit, I can't remember, 150 grams a month with somebody out there. I think it might have been Broken Coast, and they basically said, yeah, that's great and all, but you, it doesn't really matter now. So I don't know if that matters from a growing perspective later on as a patient, if I can expand more than 4 plants, whatever the case may be. But anyways, we'll figure that out as we go. I'm in no position in downtown Vancouver to be growing anything. Pretty much everything I grow here dies. Except my dreams. Except my dreams. All right, people, what are you smoking on? I'm going to get back to work here pretty quick. I just came in to smoke a quick, spin a quick dizzy with you guys and burn one down. It is our final 420 as contraband Canadians, or illegal cannabis, or not legal cannabis, or whatever the hell you want to call it. But do I think there's an opportunity for a marketing design firm with a knowledge in cannabis? Absolutely, I work for one. I guess technically Matchstick sort of is one. I mean, there's so many small firms and small nuances to what is marketing and branding, anywhere from an influencer to a massive company, DDBs, your Cossettes, your massive ad agencies, international. Does Saatchi and Saatchi still exist? Cannabis specific, they do exist already. Just give that a Google and... sorry, I just got a message from work, so just pushing off a meeting, and that's never a bad thing, but I do have to probably get back to him and say, yo, dude, that's cool. So I'm going to get going here. I was prepping for that meeting here by just having a little max and relax. It's been a long day. Definitely keep working on the marketing firm if you can, because it is a great idea, and I think it's something that you should start focusing on now, especially with cannabis coming down the pipe for you guys. There's so many things I wish I got involved in a couple years ago. I wish I was a year ahead of where I was. It would have made such a huge difference in where I'm at right now. Not at all that I mind being where I'm at. I love it, but it's there's so many opportunities that could have taken me in so many different directions. Anyways, get involved now. Stay above the radar, or whatever the term you want to use. Don't go illegal. Don't go clandestine if you don't have to. Just operate above or with the law as best you can, and poise yourself for when it does become legal. At least from a marketing and branding standpoint, that seems to be your best option, right? So getting into flower and handling all of that, that's a different story. But anyways, team, I'm going to get going here. It was really great spending 420 with you, the final one, and maybe we'll be able to do this tomorrow. It's going to be a hell of a busy day tomorrow. I hope it is for everybody else. Best dispensary in Vancouver, Chef Be Fresh, in my opinion, of course. You sound like you've watched, oh gosh, that show with Mr. Big, The Good Wife. The Good Wife. There's a judge in that. I'm not sure if you know that reference or not. But in my opinion, the best dispensary in downtown Vancouver is Green City. That's on Burrard and Davie, just across from the Esso and just down from the TD Bank. If you're going to be heading into the Kitsilano area, this is like the fucking Lotus Land. It's just like, yeah, it's filled. It's peppered with wonderful dispensaries. The Village Bloomery is the best in the fucking world as far as I'm concerned. I love those guys, and their cannabis is just so fucking awesome. So with the Village Bloomery in Kitsilano, depending on where you're from and depending on who you're making fun of at the time, there's Apollo that I like myself. It's a fairly clean run operation. There's Buddha Barn as well on West 4th. Apollo is on West 4th, closer to Granville Island. Buddha Barn is up on West 4th, just west of Burrard. And then there is... was it Lotus Land? I think it might have been Lotus Land, and that's up further west on West 4th and on the other side of the street. But anyways, Village Bloomery, Apollo, Green City Van, big fan of. So yeah, anything else, please do DM me. You can find our products. Fucking A, yeah, awesome laundry day. Totally. Anybody that is sold at the Village Bloomery is pretty well vetted at the end of the day. So you're in really good hands there. You're really, I would go there first. If you get the option, go there first. The rest are great too, but don't buy your cannabis on Granville Street. Do not buy your cannabis on Granville Street. I found a place over in Gastown, but again, if you're planning this and you're prepping this, get over to one of the ones I did recommend for sure. Yeah, man. And there's also a Reddit thread that I've started with 5 whopping people on it right now, but feel free to subscribe to that. The Vancouver dispensaries, I'm sure that's going to change at some point to retail or whatnot. But anyways, I got to get running here, folks. Really good seeing you guys. DM me, let me know what you're smoking on tonight to celebrate, tomorrow to celebrate, and we will be catching up with you in the next couple of days. Groovy.